MC Ghoul here with wearecritix.com and Xscream podcast. Today we're sitting with Jonathan Rosenthal from the new sci-fi thriller The Abandoned, directed by Jason Sutland. We asked Jonathan what it was like to make this amazingly trippy movie, and here's what he had to say. Jonathan, thank you so much for sitting here with us. How are you doing
Thanks so
today?
much for having me. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Excellent, excellent. I'm so stoked on this movie. I got to watch it a couple days ago, and I kid you not, I keep thinking about it. It is so bonkers. I can't imagine what it must have been like on paper. How
Bonkers
was
is
this?
the right word for it. Yes. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, and tell me, are you as good at math as Miles was?
You're the second person to ask that, and I couldn't be further from his mathematical capabilities.
There's
I'm
something
terrible at
special
math.
about the math mind, right?
No, I'm a tried and true artist, and because of that, yes, math is not my strong suit.
Well, so tell me, what about this script and the role pulled you towards it?
Um, I think for me, being for my entire life, just a tried and true sci-fi fan and horror fan. It encapsulated a lot of elements that I love in movies of that genre without taking the easy way out. I feel like a lot of those scripts end up being a little two-dimensional in the characters they portray, and also things are hard till they're easy, and because of that, oftentimes it just leaves you with a lack of fulfillment at the end of the film. That off a first read on the script, immediately I was like, oh my gosh, this is in so many ways. There's so many things that I wish other films would do right. And then as an actor, it seemed like the ultimate challenge.
That's awesome. And it wasn't just in the delivery of the script. I mean, this movie is so physical on your character.
It
What was that
is
like? How much of that was you?
that was all me. Uh,
Wow.
because of the nature of the shoot and just the intimacy of the shots that our director picked, there wasn't really any way to tag in a stunt double. And luckily, I have some stunt and stage combat experience. Not that there was any combat in this film, not to mislead the audience. Uh, but yeah, no, that was all me, and it definitely brought me to my breaking point multiple times. But
Yeah,
we
it
made it
must
through.
have really taught you how to fall, right?
How to fall and get up. Yeah, yeah, and
That was
un,
so
un,
cool.
unfortunately, as you know, having seen the film, there are parts of the film where I don't have a shirt on, so it's not like you can hide pads or padding. So in some of those moments, it was, you're gonna fall down this or into this, and here's how to do that, and just please don't get hurt because we can't afford to not shoot tomorrow.
Well, speaking of that, were there any cool fails that happened in the filming?
There, oh, the only one I can think of, there's a couple moments where, as you know, I'm sliding across walls, the
Mhm.
ground, and so on. I got pulled by three stunt guys through the camera, which luckily I wasn't hurt, but our camera was a little rocked. Luckily, we had two on set at the time. But yeah, that was luckily that's about the only major fail as far as things where the whole set got quiet and the question was, can we keep going today? Um, but I
Well,
popped right
dicey.
up and was like, oh, that was crazy. Let's go again. And they're like, we
Combat
needed another
training, right?
camera. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's so cool. Now, can you tell me a little bit about the soundstage? Like, did they actually have you in a box, or what was that like?
We shot on a stage up in Spokane, Washington, and we had about three or four different versions of the set. We had one that could kind of tilt like this. We had what they called the hamster wheel that was like a fully spinnable little box. A big full size one with walls that could slide. Um, yeah, no, the art department really went above and beyond, and I think that allowing them to do all of those different versions of the set really helped create like a seamless experience and what ended up on screen.
I mean, because it felt really real. Like, it sounds like even the set felt really real.
Yeah, it did, and I mean, especially like trying to tackle a role like this. Uh, knowing how isolated the character Miles is, and everything I was about to undergo, the question became, how do I we only had 15 days plus a pickup day to shoot this.
Wow.
And knowing that, it was kind of like, all right, I'm just going to have to live in this. And how do I immerse myself in this? And as soon as I got the set, the realization became, okay, well, this will be not easy, but immersion won't be the question. It's how do I get out of it when all is said and done? How do I walk home and go, okay, I'm not a Gulf War soldier in a box anymore.
Well, you know, speaking of that isolation, I honestly found it like one of the most special parts about the movie because you watch all these movies where you have one actor leading the whole storyline. It's quite a challenge, you know, to any actor, and then let alone to the audience to be asked to, you know, enjoy and engage in a story where only one face is telling it. However, I felt like you did an amazing job. This movie sort of sits outside of my normal genre, so the fact that you were able in your performance to pull me in and having me just even be like, "Really, it's over? Like, tell me more." I just thought it was amazing, and you know, tell me what that was like preparing to lead and take that on for this movie.
It was. I think the preparation was nearly as taxing as shooting itself. The director Jason Sutherland and I rehearsed for probably about 3 months leading up to filming, just because, as I said, we had such limited days to shoot, and we're doing so many pages a day. There was really zero room for error, and because of that, we rehearsed it much like a play, knowing that we could essentially prepare for it anywhere. And then when we got on set, it just would take some minor tailoring. And it also allowed he and I to develop a shorthand as far as the director actor relationship. But for me, I think the hardest part was just finding a way to manufacture something in the character that was before he ends up in this situation, he's already an isolated person dealing with a lot of trauma and PTSD, and and how to wear that as a skin without it feeling forced or over the top. So I after a lot of deliberation, uh, decided to cut communication with my friends and family and girlfriend at the time, and I didn't really talk to anyone that wasn't necessary until we wrapped shooting, which made it a lot easier to just kind of lose myself in the space in the story.
Well, you both did it to quite an amazing delivery. And thank you so much, Jonathan, for sitting here with us, giving us this amazing insight. Catch The Abandoned in select theaters July 19th and available digitally July 30th.